So I was like, maybe this tied into that because you said puppet boobs, and no,
No,
let's
no, this has
completely
nothing to
different.
do with that.
So one of the characters, and like, there's always funny names people try to make.
Wait,
Like I
hold,
always,
hold on. We gotta explain it, right? So, Stuff of Legends is a 3-part YouTube series that is following this D&D game,
yeah,
which
that's
is so people understand what's going on. It's being broadcast on YouTube, and everybody had a part to play in developing their puppet. And one of the puppets is causing quite a stir. It's causing quite a lot of undulation on the internet. And would you like to explain why said puppet?
so her character is called Areola Borealis,
Areola Borealis. That's right.
but not spelled exactly like that.
No, close
Borealis is
enough though.
spelled like Aurora Borealis, but Areola is spelled a little bit differently than areola, being
Yes.
what the region around your nipple. So anatomy lesson, everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, she like taking part in making her character, making her puppet.
Yes.
She wanted to make a puppet with the largest possible boobs you can put on a puppet.
Yes. Yes.
Now, granted, it's also stereotypically kind of had the whole female armor, as they call it, which is
Boob
very
armor.
revealing, but still armor, I guess.
I don't know if you could pull it up for our viewers. So I'll just say so. Yes, this.
Actually, I'll pull up. I'll pull up what you sent me on Facebook.
Yeah, send it to me. We could just show our viewers very quickly. But yeah, so it's a woman that's requested this puppet, and the designer who actually he designed it. He just said this because of all the controversy. He said, "Fun fact: I wanted the actors to have full control over the design of their characters." So he lists one of the users. He said this guy wanted a fish puppet with crazy eyes. So that's Slippery Richardson, right? Slippery Dick, for those who don't make the connection. And then he went on to say, and this next character, who's a woman, her name is Shanna Malcolm, was very specific, saying she wanted to have Ari have the biggest boobs possible on her puppet.
Yeah. So here we go. Six episode series.
Yes.
Takes you through Dungeons Dragons campaign, master with good old fashioned role playing in puppets. Yes, you read that right. Puppets.
Puppets, not Muppets. That would be a copyright strike, but puppets. Let's go down to our guys.
So here's the here's the cast. Joshua Ovenshire, the Dungeon Master, Lisa Foyles, Lasercorn. So these people are also using like online names. Shannon Malcolm and Brandon Rogers. Now Shanna Malcolm is the one that created the character Areola Borealis.
Yes.
Brandon Rogers, Slippery Richardson, Hatchet Hand, that's Lasercorn, and then Magelica Plum.
Yeah, Magelica Plum, that's it.
Is Lisa Foyles. So as you can see, these are the puppets. So they got, they're really puppet looking. Slippery Richardson, he's they're playing these different races. So you see dwarf, a mage. I'm guessing she's a human here, and then Slippery Richardson is playing a Kuoto, which is like a very obscure race in D&D. And then Dragonborn. Dragonborn are basically like dragon-headed humanoids.
Right.
Areola Borealis with, her female armor.
So why the puppet have titties? Like that was a very popular comment on Twitter with this whole thing. I mean, we can't zoom in. We can't really get it any bigger, can we? No, I don't think so. I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to kind of take a look at the character. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, look at her. She looks like AOC, if you ask me. She looks kind of like, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Why can't I?
Why can't you shift it across?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right. But for our viewers, she's red. She's red. She looks like a Fraggle from Fraggle Rock, so maybe we could call her Fraggle Rock. And
Oh god. Well, she's like I said, she's a dragonborn. Dragonborn typically they have dragon skin, so they're like red or yeah. So
yeah. So she looks like a Fraggle from Fraggle Rock, if anybody gets the 80s reference, but she's got big bazumbas with the armor that goes with big bazumbas, right? Now, the Twitter sphere, of course, is losing their shit over this whole thing and saying, oh, this is, continuing the stereotypes of sexism in comics and fantasy. And anybody who's seen Dungeons and Dragons artwork from the 80s and shit like that, damn fucking right, it's sexism.
Oh, have you? I mean, a lot of people try to get like, while trying to respect the creator of D&D, Gary Gygax. They'll kind of play up, but they'll also like try to always go back to referring how like he had, we'll just say, older ideas.
Yeah, they try to cancel this guy,
like the creator of your game that you're like shitting on right now, like. No one has managed. Like no one's going to cancel him. I believe.
Yeah, it would be impossible.
I would hope, but the thing is, but they still will like bring up like, hey, look at this one thing he wrote about women in official like reference books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He would make certain claims and ideas and such. It's like okay, whatever. Like it's most people are kind enough to kind of go, yeah, it's just how it was back then. Whatever. But yeah, it's like,
I mean, this is what I don't get. The leftists are all about representation, right? They're all about, we need to see ourselves in these characters and whatever. So are they trying to say that big-breasted women are not entitled to representation in puppets? Like, is there a campaign against like big titties? I can't support that.
There was a woman, I think, that got semi-viral for taking a picture of herself holding up a sign that said "Big boobs matter" or "Big tits matter."
Yeah, because I mean, this controversy is not limited to this. There's also been the whole thing with the new She-Ra that came out, which I didn't watch. It's on Netflix, but I saw how they redrew it. Now, anybody who saw the 80s cartoon with She-Ra and He-Man, He-Man was like basically Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. He's all buff and muscles on muscles. And She-Ra was a fucking babe, right? She had like big tits and blonde hair and, perfect waist.
There was also a controversy over Wonder Woman.
Right. I mean, so this is the same thing. When they redrew the She-Ra, she had no titties, right? She was like kind of androgynous looking, like what happened to the titties, right? And the same thing as you say, when they did Wonder Woman, I quite like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but if you look at Wonder Woman in the old comics, the bitch had big titties. Like, like what is wrong with big titties? Those get represented. I mean, they've already whitewashed every redhead in the comic books and race swapped them. So they have something against redheads, right? And I like redheads. Now they're going after the titties, man. Like, for fuck's sake, bro. Like, why are they doing this to our childhood? I don't know.
I don't know if you know. There's literally a. So there's an actual comic, part of one of the comics with Wonder Woman where definitely showed you what was on the artist's mind.
Right.
So we all know like she has these Amazonian bracelets that she uses to block.
Oh, I know
bullets.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
So she's blocking bullets, and then I think Superman comes up and goes,
yeah, Superman,
"Do you really need to block them? Like you're indestructible." She goes, "Not really." And then she puts her hands down, and all of a sudden it's just bouncing off her boobs,
her big titties.
Yeah,
and everyone starting to jiggle. Like an anime chick running in her movie, right? It's all over the place.
No one tries to cancel anime.
Oh, they're trying. Oh, yeah. No, they are trying. I mean, it's just the Japanese don't give a fuck, right? I think I don't know if I said
titties? Bigger titties.
Yeah, they're going after the titties in anime as well. But I don't know if I sent you this I guess I pulled it off Reddit. It was a meme. It's like SpongeBob and his snail friend are sitting in a chair, and all of a sudden this giant rock just like slides into his pineapple house and like crushes him up against the wall. And the tagline is him and the snail are the bra, and the big rock is like big hentai titties.
I think I sent you a video. It was like, okay, so I've got this idea. It's like this really Italian, like stereotypically Italian sounding guy. He's like, all right, so I got this idea for a new anime, right? So there's a new student that comes into school, and she's got some massive kahungas, massive barunga dunga doo. Like it's just, and then there's this new transfer student with even bigger badunga lunga dungas. Like, and it's just like what every anime pretty much is.
Yeah, like every anime meeting ever. So F in the chat for all the big titties that are not, you know, they're trying to cancel guys. Like I you know, I don't they deserve representation.
I mean, you heard about how everyone was going nuts over the Lola Bunny thing, right?
This is in Space Jam 2, right? Because
yeah, so
they redrew her.
They redesigned Lola Bunny to make her like less sexy, and both sides of the aisle were like, "No, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Like,
yeah.
We want sexy Lola Bunny.
This is where the furries came from. The furries came from Lola Bunny and Space Jam, right? This is where it starts. And they covered her up. So in Space Jam, she had kind of like a tank top, and you know, her midriff was showing, sort of thing, and she had some curves on her. You don't want to see what Reddit did to her. Reddit took it to the extreme and gave her like big honking titties, right? But in the remake, they covered her up, right? I haven't seen the second one, but I seen the artwork and stuff like that. So yeah, it's disappointing. I don't know. Have you heard the controversy about Big Hero 6 and what Reddit is going through? You know, Big Hero 6 is Pixar, and he's got like his mom and stuff like that. Anyway, some idiot on Reddit in like the dank meme group, there's a shot where his mom or whoever is kind of leaning over the table and she's talking to her son, right? And somebody went and digitally edited that and like made some big fucking titties, right?
Dude, and if it exists, this is Rule 34.
Rule 34.
If it exists, there's porn of it.
There's a porn of it, right? So I mean, but it was covered up. It was just massive cleavage on the Big Hero 6, right? And all of Reddit went nuts. And everybody started watching Big Hero 6 and being very disappointed that scene doesn't exist. So there's this like internal war going on with the meme lords over the disappointment of you know, the lack of big titties. So F in the chat, you know, Disney's big on ass, right? Pixar is big on ass, but they're not big on titties. We gotta get equal representation out there, guys. So big titties, like you a big titty guy?
Yes. Yes.
And for more details on that, be sure to join us in Subscribe Star, where Amos describes the types of titties he likes.
Check out our Subscribe Star, everyone. As my voice cracks. Sorry.
Oh, Jessica Rabbit is next. Oh, if they do that, that would be sacrilege, bro.